Ever get that feeling?
Yeah.
Like the ground is shifting, something happens, and you just know, even if it doesn't impact you directly yet, things are different.
Yeah, we're diving into that feeling today. Remember the whole tornado cash situation? Government shut down that coin mixing service.
Yeah.
Well, buckle up. Things just got a whole lot more real for Bitcoin, for privacy, the whole 9 yards.
It's wild. This case, it's not just about mixing services anymore. We're talking about the U.S. Department of Justice going after the actual developers of Samurai Wallet.
Right, and Samurai Wallet, for anyone who's maybe not familiar, is a Bitcoin wallet focused on privacy. But this is where I started to get seriously concerned. We're talking criminal indictments,
Oh, yeah.
conspiracy to commit money laundering, up to 20 years,
Yeah.
and operating an unlicensed money transmission business. Yeah, and the crazy part is, Samurai was non-custodial. They never actually held the user's Bitcoin, just gave away for people to make their transactions, harder to trace.
So help me understand that distinction, because we've seen cases against custodial mixers, right? The ones
Right.
actually holding the coins, doing the mixing themselves. This feels different.
Huge difference. Imagine like using a bank, right? They hold your money. This is more like you've got your own safe at home, your own gold. That's what Samurai was like.
So this is a huge escalation then.
Exactly. Sending shockwaves through the whole crypto space, basically saying even if you just facilitate privacy, never touch the funds, could still land you in jail.
Okay, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the charges, give us the lowdown on Samurai Wallet itself. What made them different? They were all about privacy, but there are other wallets out there.
So they were laser focused, right, on this thing called coin joining. Bunch of people simultaneously pool their Bitcoin, then redistribute it. Makes it really hard to track where the coins originated.
Mm.
They were big on being open source, free to use, and Android only, actually. Kind of an outlier.
Really? So they were like the privacy purists of the Bitcoin wallet world.
Yeah, you could say that. And popular with folks who didn't want to run their own full Bitcoin node.
Yeah.
Too technical for a lot of people.
All right.
So they used this light wallet model, didn't need to download the whole Bitcoin blockchain.
Okay.
But UT, and this is key, they relied on a coordinator server run by the developers to connect users for those coin joins.
So that's what the DOJ is latching onto. They weren't just providing software, they were facilitating.
That's the argument. And that brings us to the billion-dollar question. Does this count as money transmission under U.S. law? Because the DOJ is coming down hard with a very, very broad interpretation.
Okay, so let's dig into these charges. Conspiracy to commit money laundering. That's a big one to just throw around. Where's the proof?
Yeah, so the DOJ, their big thing is that, look, some bad money, right? Some illicit funds, they went through Samurai Wallet, they're quoting their own data. Something like 3.6% of transactions involved coins that had some link to, criminal activity.
Hold on. 3.6%. That's what they're basing this whole thing on. Seems awfully thin to me. What's the logic?
That's where the conspiracy part comes in, right?
Yeah.
They're not saying, not directly, that the Samurai devs helped anyone launder money. It's more like because they built a tool meant for privacy, they knew it could be used that way, enabled it. Even if they can't prove, specific intent for every single transaction.
So they're going after the tech itself, basically, because it makes their job harder. What about the other, 96 point something percent of transactions that were probably totally legit? Don't those users deserve privacy?
Exactly. And that leads into the second charge, which, honestly, this one could be even bigger in the long run. Conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmission business.
Which is where that whole non-custodial thing comes in, right?
Yeah.
They didn't hold the funds. But the DOJ is saying just facilitating those coin joins, that's money transmission.
That's what they're arguing. And if that holds up in court, man, it's a scary precedent for anyone building on Bitcoin, even just using it, really.
Because then you're talking, multi-sig providers,
Yeah.
Lightning Network hubs,
Yeah.
even some DXs could get caught up in that.
The chilling effect is what's scary. Imagine developers too afraid to build anything new because, bam, money transmission charges.
This whole thing, it's giving me some serious Minority Report vibes, Arrested for a crime that hasn't even happened just because you offered a service that might be used that way. But isn't privacy like a fundamental right? Innocent until proven guilty and all that?
This cuts right to the core, man. Security versus freedom in the digital age, right? Every time, throughout history, you see this. Privacy gets chipped away. Other freedoms, they're not far behind.
It's that Ben Franklin quote, right? Those who would give up essential liberty.
To purchase a little temporary safety. Yeah. And online, in our world, man, that's more relevant than ever.
It's like someone's always looking over your shoulder. Every purchase, every email, even just browsing. Most people, they don't even realize how much data is being hoovered up every single day.
In this case, it could decide how much control we even have over our own financial info. Are we headed to a world where every transaction is tracked, monitored, maybe even censored?
There's already been some talk developers pulling out of the US because of this. Is that happening, or is that just like hype?
It's happening. Wasabi Wallet, they're gone. Privacy focus, they said nope, too risky. Even Phoenix Wallet, they're all about Lightning Network. They're moving shop overseas.
Wow. So that's concerning. But it also shows you the power of like Bitcoin being decentralized. Even if they shut down every company, every developer, right?
Yeah.
They can't arrest the code. It's still out there.
That's the beauty of open source, man. Nobody owns it, nobody can kill it, but it's a two-front battle, you know? We need the devs pushing those boundaries.
And we need groups like Coin Center, fighting in the courts,
Yeah.
defending our digital rights. They're the ones going toe-to-toe with these crazy interpretations of the law, trying to find some balance.
100%. Because if we don't take a stand for privacy right here, right now, we might not get another shot. And this is bigger than just Bitcoin. This is the future of financial freedom for everyone.
This whole thing with Samurai Wallet, it's got people talking about Monero again. Like, is it time to jump ship? Is that just, Bitcoin maxi talk, or is there something to that?
Right, right. I mean, it's not about picking winners and losers, yeah. It's about the tools
Hmm.
and what each one does, what you give up, what you gain. But you're right, the Samurai thing, it puts Monero right back in the spotlight.
Yes.
Because with Monero, privacy, it's not an add-on. It's not a feature you turn on or off. It's baked in. Protocol level, you know? Every transaction, private by default.
So, completely different approach then.
Night and day. And that's why, legally speaking, it's a whole other beast. No central server to go after, no company, really. Like, how do you even shut that down? It'd be like trying to stop a conversation happening between, I don't know, 1,000 people all over the world at the same time.
So it's a real test then, isn't it? This
Yeah.
whole Samurai thing. Bitcoin, you've got privacy tools, you can add them on, but it's optional. Monero, it's like privacy is the whole point.
And we see which one they went after, right? Makes you think. This case, it goes beyond just tech. You know, it's about what we want the future of money to look like.
Exactly. Not just which coin is going to moon next week, right?
Mm.
This is about control, about freedom. This case, it's a big deal for all of us. I don't care if you're like running your own node or you just learned what a Bitcoin IS last week. This matters.
At a crossroads, that's what it feels like. What we decide in OW, the tech we support, the lines we draw, that's shaping the financial world for our kids, our grandkids even, you know.
The Samurai Wallet case, it's not over. This is just the first shot in a long fight. But we got to have the conversation right. We got to fight back. So I'm thinking as we wrap up this deep dive, how much are we willing to give up for convenience, for a little bit of, I don't know, perceived safety? When do we say enough is enough? When do we take back our privacy before it's gone for good?